In this video, we are going to understand how to find out the HCF of the bigger numbers. So you can find out the link in the description box for the earlier video also, in which I have explained how to find out HCF of the smaller numbers. Hello my awesome students, welcome back to my channel Akshar. I am Nana and I usually make videos related to short tricks for mathematics. On my channel you can find out the short tricks related to addition, subtraction, multiplication, LCM, HCF and many more. So please do like, share and subscribe my channel if you find the video useful for you.
So let's start our today's topic, which is how to find out HCF of the bigger numbers, right? So let us suppose the very first is 62, 186 and 279, right? So you can see my earlier video also to know the trick to how to find out the HCF of the given numbers, right? So let's start solving this question. So our trick is that step number 1 is that first write down all the numbers in the ascending order. Okay, so our numbers are already in the ascending order, right? So step number 2, moving to step number 2. Step number 2 is what? We have to take difference between all the numbers. So what is the difference between all the numbers? Difference between 186 and 62 is what? It is 124. And difference between this and this value is what? This is equal to 93. Okay, then step number 3 is what? That we imagine that let my smaller number, smaller difference is equal to HCF. So that means let us suppose that 93 is my HCF. Okay, so moving to step number 4. Step number 4 is what? We have to check that whether each of the number is divisible by 93 or not. Okay, so you can see that 62 is smaller than 93, so it can never be divisible by 93. So we will do one more step other than the steps we have done in the previous video, that if the difference is coming greater than the any of the number, then we will write down the factors of this number 3 and 31, and let us imagine that this bigger number is my HCF. This bigger factor is my HCF. Okay, so now check that 31 is dividing all of these numbers or not. Means all these numbers are divisible by 31 or not. Means is 31 is acting as a divisor for all the numbers or not. So 31 is, so 62 is divisible by 31, right? 186 is divisible by 31, right? And 279 is also divisible by 31. So that means my HCF is going to be 31. Okay, then moving to question number 2. Question number 2 is, let us suppose that 45, 90 and 80. So step number 1 is what? Step number 1 is that I have to write all of my numbers in the ascending order, which is 45, 80 and 90. So moving to step number 2. Step number 2 is what? I have to take the difference between all of these numbers. Okay, so now in step number 3, we will imagine that our smaller number is equal to, smaller difference is equal to HCF. So let us suppose 10 is equal to my HCF. Now check that if this 10 is dividing all these numbers or not. So if I will see that 45 is not divisible by 10, so what we do? We make factors of 45. Factors of 45 are what? 5 into 3 into 3, and then we multiply our each factor with our HCF. So 10 into 3 will give me 30. Now check with this 30 value. All the numbers are divisible or not? No, 45 is not divisible by 30. So now take another factor of 45. Another factor of 45 is 5, which will give me 50. So 45 is again not divisible by 5. So 50 is becoming greater than the 45. So what I will do? I will do the factors of 50 now, which is equal to 2 into 5 into 5, and I will imagine this time that my bigger factor is my HCF, and check that if this factor is dividing all my given numbers or not. Yes, it is dividing all of my numbers, so that means HCF in this case is going to be equal to 5. Okay, so once you will do practice on the questions, then you will be able to have command over these questions and you will be able to solve these questions very fast. So let us take another example, 102, 62 and 136. So my step number 1 is what? I have to write down all the numbers in the ascending order. Then step number 2 is what? I have to take the difference between all of these numbers, which is equal to 34 and 34. Now check that. So both numbers are equal, so I can imagine anyone as my HCF, difference as HCF. Now check that 34, these numbers are divisible by my difference or not. 68 is divisible by 34. Yes. 102 is divisible by 34. Yes. 136 is also divisible by 34. So that means my HCF is going to be equal to 34 only. Okay, most of the time in your exam when you will get the questions to find out the HCF, then your question will end at this place only, that once you will find out the difference and the smaller number will be dividing all of your numbers, so that will be your HCF. So by just finding the difference between the given numbers, you will be able to find out the HCF of the given number. So let's try to solve this fourth question by yourself and add your comments in the comment box that are you able to find out the HCF of this number or not, and what is the answer you are getting as HCF for this numbers. So let's meet in the next video, in which we are going to learn the trick to find out HCF of the decimal numbers. HCF of the numbers given in decimal.
If you find the video useful for you, then please do like, share and subscribe my channel so that you can get more updates of my new videos. Let's meet in the next video with a new trick to find out the square root of the given number.